All right, class. So today we're going to be diving into the push and pull forces that either hold a country together or tear it apart. Think of a group project. Some of you are the glue keeping everything together, and some of you, well, let's just say that you're making things difficult. So countries work the same way. We're going to go ahead and get into that now. This is the big picture, folks. So by the end of this lesson, I want you to understand how certain forces can make a country stronger or break it apart. Think of the US. We have things that unite us, like common language, except for the whole soda and pop debate, and things that divide us apart. So sports rivalries. For example, Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics, or anything like that. So, a failed state is a country that has lost control, like a substitute teacher trying to manage a class with no seating chart. Liberia, for example, struggles with infrastructure, corruption, and displacement. Nigeria has problems with corruption and uneven development. And the Congo, it's dealing with a lot, including conflict and humanitarian crisis. The moral of the story is a strong government does matter. Okay, so centrifugal forces push people apart, like when your family argues over where to eat for dinner. Imagine a country where people don't ask or don't speak the same language, they practice different religions, and they don't trust the government. Chaos. Examples: Canada has French and English speakers. India and Pakistan split in 1947 because of their religious differences. And we have the example of the US Civil War. It's a textbook example of strong regional differences. Okay, so uneven development. Have you ever noticed how some parts of Florida have fancy highways while others have potholes and it looks like it's big enough to swallow a car? That's uneven development. In some countries, the gap is massive. Rural areas often get left behind while cities get all the investment. Kind of like how Miami gets all the attention, but what about the Everglades? Okay, stateless nations. Stateless nations are groups of people without their own country, kind of like a soccer team with no home stadium. The Kurds, millions of people, no official country. Palestinians, same struggle. Imagine being told, yeah, you exist, but you don't get your own country. Sounds frustrating, right? All right, some groups want to form their own country because they feel culturally different from everyone else. Think of it like siblings arguing over a shared room. Sometimes they just want their own space. The boss in Spain, the Scots in the UK, and they all want more independence. It's like saying, I'm done sharing, I need my own space. All right, so now we're going to talk about things that keep a country together. Centripetal forces are like the great coach. Everyone buys into the system. One common language, less confusion. A shared religion, more unity. A solid transportation system makes life a lot easier for everyone. Just like how good Wi Fi keeps a family from fighting over who gets the best signal. All right, so ethno nationalism is when people feel a strong loyalty to their nation. Think of the World Cup. Countries go all over from to support their team. Some governments use this unity to keep a strong government or a country strong. And like how France's transportation system revolves around Paris, everything leads to the capital, keeping the country connected. Okay, so equitable infrastructure development. When a government invests in its entire country, not just the rich areas, people feel more united. China, for example, has spent billions on roads and trains, helping its economy grow. Imagine if Florida built only nice roads in Miami, but left the rest of the state with dirt roads. There'd be huge protests, especially those of you on their way to Disney. Okay, that leads us to a recap of centripetal and centrifugal forces. So centripetal forces pull people together. It's like school spirit at a pep rally. Centrifugal forces push people apart, like a cafeteria food fight. So some examples would be a common language and a strong government are centripetal forces. Multiple religions and economic inequality are centrifugal. Got it? All right, so consequences. What happens when centrifugal forces get out of control? Countries can break apart, like Yugoslavia, and some places struggle with uneven development, like northern Nigeria. Stateless nations fight for recognition, like the Kurds and the Palestinians, and in worst cases, things can spiral into a full on separation or a war. Lesson learned: stability matters. So that's a wrap for today's lesson covering unit topic 410, the consequences of centrifugal and centripetal forces. I will see you guys in class next time. Please make sure that you are writing down any questions that you have so we can cover them in class. And don't forget to complete your bell ringers and your lesson reviews on quizzes and complete your reflection questions in your note packet. See you next class.